Austraeoh by Imploding Colon, read by Deathlight, Chapter 172, Speaker. The group reached a crest of silver stone in the deep shadows of the ruins. Sloping down a tunnel formed, at the end of which was an unnaturally smooth disk of granite. Rainbow Dash didn't notice anything remarkable about it, but immediately upon arriving, Speak dashed towards the passageway and gave the polished surface several loud knocks. Rainbow watched nervously, holding the weight of swirls against her. The injured earth pony was shivering, still murmuring Stu's precious name. After half a minute, there was a scraping noise, and the disc at the bottom of the passageway slid open. 4 earth ponies appeared, brandishing crossbows and aiming them towards the dismal gray light above. At the sight of the 3, their bodies relaxed, but their faces lit up with alarm. Imba, praise the goddesses! We heard the rumblings of a terrible fight. Where's His Majesty? Is that a Pegasus? There's a flock of breedlings just outside. Ember said, We must get Swirls to the physicians. She's hurt badly. Where's Stu? Is he off helping Sumrose? Swirls inhaled sharply, her face grimacing in sorrow. Speak fidgeted. She was about to answer when a golden figure dropped down amongst them. The ponies at the doorway gasped. Fear not, Sumrose exclaimed breathlessly. His brown coat sheen with sweat, and his armor covered in scrapes and scorch marks. I've taken at least 4 of the matriarch's children from her. The flock is drawn back for the moment. His nostrils flared as he stared at the group. His eyes narrowed at the sight of Swirl's wounded body. He glanced at Rainbow, then spoke to Ember in a noticeably softer voice. We're missing one. Ember's eyes moistened. She opened her mouth, but a distant scream lit the ears of every pony present. The group spun about, gazing upwards. Through a fissure in the gray surface of Sylvatal, a thick cluster of red-scaled monsters descended. The dragons were not alone, they had something in their grasp. A splintery wooden pair of boards was stabbed into the rubble. Resting against the boards, bleeding and burned, was a hauntingly familiar stallion. By the elders. Sam stammered. Ember had a hoof covered over her mouth, while Rainbow Dash's face twisted in horror. The dragon swarmed around Stu, snarling and hissing at the poor pony. One dragon shook his snout and lunged forward. A tooth came loose from the red drake's maw. Another worm picked it up, and without wasting any time, shoved it through one of Stu's forelimbs, pinning it to the wooden boards along with the others. Stu let loose a blood-curdling scream. His body writhed, pinned to the splintery array. As he heaved and sobbed in pain, a bright-orange dragon slithered over. His jaw was noticeably larger than the other drakes, and his skull brushed a crown of giant spines that lined the center of his cranium. They have a speaker. A what? Shh. Ember's face went dull and forlorn. Just listen. Ponies! The spiked dragon shouted, gazing across the ruins of Sylvatal with an iron frown. Wretched vermin of our most holy nesting ground, come out and face us. We have your brother, we have his blood, his tears, and his teeth. Must you be so selfish to leave him in such a cruel fate, like all the others? Rainbow gently hoofed Swirls over to Speak. Take her. Ember supported the weight of Swirls' wounded body. What are you? This will only take a sec. Rainbow spread her wings to soar up out of the fissure in the ground. She was blocked by a steel sword straight in her face. You will do no such thing. Don't you see he's dying? Somebody's gotta do something. You have not exposed all of us, and this entrance to Sanctuary. This is exactly what they want. For the good of all my subjects, do not make another move. Don't you want to save him at all? There's nothing left to save. Samrose uttered coldly, his green eyes narrowed. If you so much as consider compromising the rest of us, I will toss you out there in pieces. Rimbodash stood there, biting her lip and shivering. As the drake spoke loudly towards the hidden ponies, she let Sam trot past her gaze into the world outside. The spiked dragon rested his claw on top of the wooden boards to which Stu was pinned to by the teeth. You pathetic little ingrates never learn. It is for that reason that you suffer. Leave this land, it is no longer yours. All that remains is meat and ashes. The dragon glanced to his brethren. With a toothy grin, he stepped backwards and nodded their way. Release her holy breath. Two red worms leaned forward. Taking a deep breath, they exhaled, unleashing waves of flame across all of Stu's figure. The stallion screamed as his body was consumed from tail to mane with bright orange flame. He writhed and shrieked and suffered, but he was not dying. Not even close. Twirls was sobbing to the point of collapse. Ember struggled to look at the horrible spectacle. She glanced tearfully over at Sam. Sam took a deep breath as he held out a hoof. Closing her eyes, Ember reached back to her belongings and passed the prince her crossbow. Every pony get to the tunnel and prepare to run. Yes, your majesty. Ember ducked down with an inconsolable swirls. The ponies beneath the tunnel entrance prepared to seal the door at a moment's breath. Rimbodash watched as Samrose walked up to the crest of the hole, aimed the crossbow, and yanked at its trigger. The iron bolt flew skyward, soared into the flames, and silenced you screaming. The dragons all jolted in surprise. The speaker with his spines bore a confused expression. He slid his eyes and scanned the nearby rubble for the signs of where the projectile had come from. Someone was dashing towards the entrance of the sanctuary. He paused at the door and hissed at Rainbow. Chilled to the bone, the prismatic Pegasus followed him. Stu's burned body may have been rendered silent, but his screams still echoed in her twitching ears. The door slid shut behind her, cutting off the scent of burning flesh, and casting the survivors into darkness.